I am very grateful for one of those arrests that occurred after 1987 because it was one of those arrests that led to us getting his DNA. And he spent 24 years walking the streets as a free man, getting in some trouble. The victim in this case has, as she wrote in her letter, received a sentence much longer than his, and she spent 24 years walking around not knowing if the man who raped her so violently, this wasn't just an act of sexual aggression. I mean, he beat her and physically injured her.
As my favorite ADA stated, this man walked around for 24 years free until a DNA test proved that he was the one to do that to her. Now he is up for his first parole hearing. Will the ADA statement keep him locked up? With that, let's jump.
Who was a first felony offender who was convicted of forcible rape. And on October 26, 2017, was sentenced to serve 20 years hard labor in East Baton Rouge Parish. Your parole eligibility date is 3/26/24. Your good time date is 7/28/27. And your full term date is 7/29/37. That sounds correct to you, Mr. Jones?
Yes, sir.
All right. Your case has been assigned to Mr. Pete Freeman, who's gonna cast the vote, the first vote, and will begin our interview.
All right, Mr. Jones, how old are you?
47.
I got 59, okay.
Oh, but Lord, you. I'm way off.
64.
Yeah, 65.
He's how old?
65.
Born in 1964, so
He's 59.
And 65.
59, born in 64, I got 59.
Okay, 59.
Okay, what's your educational level?
12th grade.
Okay, and how long you been in jail on this charge?
About, I want to say 7 or 8 years.
12 and a half.
Mhm.
Okay, did you know the victim?
No, sir.
Do you take responsibility for what happened?
Yes, indeed. Fully.
Okay, tell me what went on, what happened?
Well, I got drunk one night and acting crazy. Went out there to the Belmont Hotel looking for a guy over there and ran across the lady. By me being full of that alcohol, I just did something stupid. Something that I don't do.
Okay, and you were originally charged with aggravated rape and you pled to forcible, am I correct?
Sir?
You were charged with aggravated rape, but you pled to forcible rape.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you got a pretty big break right there.
Yes, sir.
What would you tell the victim? I mean, she was
Sorry.
abused pretty bad.
Yeah, I'm very, very sorry.
Okay,
Yeah, I had an alcohol problem. I needed some help with that too.
I see you got lots of hospital trips and you're in a wheelchair. What's the diagnosis, Warden?
Well,
You know anything about his medical?
He gets on dialysis 3 times
Yeah,
a week.
only thing I can tell you, Mr.
Serious
Freeman, is
medical.
he's got some serious medical issues and he's dialysis 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Okay, thank you, Warden. You have 6 children. Do you have contact with your children?
yes, sir.
Okay, you contact with all of them or just a few?
Yes, sir.
All right. I see you got arrested back to 1981, correct? Which is
Yes, sir.
part of the first felony offense.
Yeah.
You have opposition, strong opposition from the sheriff, the DA, the victim. She's not gonna attend, but she has a letter and I'm gonna find it before we finish because I want to read her letter.
Yes, sir.
And you've had 4 write-ups. Of course, one of them was on 7/8/23.
Mhm.
What What was that about?
I really couldn't tell you right now, though. Yeah, boy.
That was a rule 4 disobedience, 7523.
Okay, and you had the same charge on 4/27/22. And then you had back in 21, a 22 and a 30C. Lord, what is a 30C?
General prohibited behavior.
Okay, do you know what exactly happened in this offense?
On February 22nd, approximately 10:15, Antronetta Tate pulled the weekly thread report from Fresenia's employee phone list. Upon reading the report, Charles Jones used the tablet, attempted to place call to a number belonging to Fresenia's dial. He tried to call one of the dialysis techs.
Okay, all right. All right. You refused your $100. Why did you refuse your $100 pre-police? Is that because of your health?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you ever take any of the sex offender classes?
No, sir, not yet.
Um, under the law, you were eligible at 33%, which is why we're here today.
Mhm.
Tell me, why should I let you out?
Well, if God raised my grandkids, get my health back in order, get straight.
Okay, I'm gonna read this letter. This is the last thing I have, Danny. Well, the warden can come after me. But this is a letter from the victim. First, I want to thank you for the opportunity to express my opinion. Reasons for requesting that Charles A. Jones remain in prison. It is my belief that Charles Jones committed a crime and now has to pay the consequences. In May 1987, my life was vastly shattered because of his actions, which caused me and still causing me much turmoil, complications with daily living, medical complications, physical and mental complications, and financial limitations. He received a fair trial and hearing, etc. There was DNA. She also matched the burn on your mark, the burn mark on your arm. That night happened because of no harm I did to him. I was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. It was him who did the violence and injustice to me. He remained a free man from that night until his criminal unlawfulness actions caught up with him, which caused him to be arrested. And more consideration for a reduction of time due to his age or medical conditions, I still say no, plead no. I plead no relief. But I do ask that he be cared for his medical needs. Also to mention that I have a long medical history due to his actions upon me in 1987. They continue to worsen, and at age 68, I asked to consider what position in life he had put me in, and confinement and limited restrictive life I must live. Please consider these facts. I did no wrong. I am the victim. He is the offender. He is the abuser. He asks us not to let him out. Okay, so that's the letter from the victim. Very, very, and then they had a back. I skipped page 2. But I think we get the gist of what you did to this young lady at that time and what harm it caused her throughout her life.
Yes, sir.
Ward, do you have any questions?
Yes, sir, Mr. Freeman.
Any- Ward? He froze.
He was checking his notes. Yeah, but that covered.
I want him to be successful upon his release. So he needs to get those things done.
Okay, can you restate that? You were froze, Warden.
I think he needs to work on his GED. He
Maybe do. Maybe do.
Okay, back live?
Yes, sir.
Keep cutting out.
We missed the whole thing again.
You missed the whole thing. You started, and all we heard was GED.
We're gonna try to do this again. Like I said, I think he needs his GED. He definitely needs his sex offender treatment and also victim impact. Without those three things, I think he's gonna be real difficult for him to be successful upon his release. So he needs to work on that.
Thank you, Warden.
Mr. Tillis, will you finish?
I'm finished.
You got a question, Mr. Tillis? No, I'm good. All right. I also, all I can tell you is that I'm looking at criminal history, and you have 10 arrests, and out of the 10 that I'm looking at, 8 of them had a victim in there. So I'm a little concerned with that. As Mr. Freeman said, we have strong opposition from the law enforcement. Mr. Jones, this would be your chance to.
His son does.
Oh, that's right, that's right. Let's hear from Mr. Ronnie Bologna, your son, first.
How you doing?
Yeah.
Good, good. Would you state your name for the record and your relationship with Mr. Jones?
Okay, my name is Ronnie Bologna Sr., and I'm his stepson.
Okay. We got you.
You got something you want to say?
Oh, well, basically, I just want to put a word in about his character. He came in my life probably at eight years old. Worked 2 full-time jobs until I was an adult. I'm a lawn care business owner because I saw him working at Brick full-time every day. So just want to put in a good word about his character, the man that I saw.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Jones, you will have a chance to give us your final statement.
Yes, sir.
We'll hear from Ms. Tracy.
Good morning again, Tracy Barbera with the East Baton Rouge Parish District Attorney's Office. As the warden stated, we are too very concerned about his lack of sex offender treatment, GED.
Tracy, so we're trying to get the offender to give his statement and let you be last.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. Yes,
All right.
I remember the changes
Took you
now.
earlier the last time. I was trying to get it in the right order this time.
Yes, I recall.
So we'll let him make his statement and you'll make yours.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Go ahead, Mr. Jones.
The question?
The question is, this is the final statement before we make a vote, that you get to tell us anything that you want to that
Yes, sir.
might influence the vote your way. I'm sure you want to be ready to get out. Just tell us why you think it'd be a good idea.
Yeah, I'm ready. But like I said, I want to tell the victim I'm very, very sorry for what happened that night. And I want to get the chance to get back out onto the street where I can take care of my grandkids and my family. And I appreciate y'all for coming. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Now we'll go to Miss Tracy Barbera with the DA's office for the
Sure.
final.
Thank you. As the warden pointed out, and we absolutely concur, we are very concerned about his lack of sex offender treatment and GED. It sounds very weird coming from a prosecutor, but yes, his criminal history is concerning. I am very grateful for one of those arrests that occurred after 1987 because it was one of those arrests that led to us getting his DNA. And he spent 24 years walking the streets as a free man, getting in some trouble. The victim in this case has, as she wrote in her letter, received a sentence much longer than his, and she spent 24 years walking around not knowing if the man who raped her so violently, this wasn't just an act of sexual aggression. I mean, he beat her and physically injured her. And she spent 24 years walking around not knowing if the man who did that to her was around the next corner or behind her in a vehicle. So again, we are grateful for that one arrest that led to the DNA sample. We, quite frankly, again, we're just in a situation where we don't think he has served enough time. And I believe his good time release date is in July of 2027. Although 3 years may seem like a long time to him, it's really not that far away. And if this man is going to be released from prison, we believe a more appropriate release would be on good time parole as opposed to receiving the benefit of parole. And again, we did give him a very lenient sentence, and he is lucky he's not serving life in prison right now.
Yes, ma'am.
So we oppose. Thank you.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thank you. All right. The board's now ready to vote. Let's begin with Mr. Freeman.
Okay, Mr. Jones, due to the heinous nature of the crime, as Ms. Barbera pointed out, you out for 24 years and this poor lady has been suffering ever since 1987. And furthermore, you definitely need sex offender treatment if they will even accept you. And you have a good time gate, as stated, in 3 years. My vote today is to deny.
Mr. Tillis?
I concur with Mr. Freeman, and I agree. And my vote is to deny also.
And I vote to deny also based on the past criminal arrest record, the violent nature of the current offense, and the opposition from the law enforcement and district attorney. Also suggests that you get the GED, do the victim's impact and sex offender classes before you come up for a good time release. So that today your parole has been denied. And that will conclude our business in your case at 11:13 a.m.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Another Tracy classic. I just adore her. She shows up, and she just doesn't show up as an empty suit. There are some EPAs who we see show up every once in a while, and they just read off a script. They read off a script while they're driving. Well, they walk around their office. It's different with Tracy. With Tracy, she's passionate about it. She understands the case. She speaks to the victims, survivors, and comes in with something on their behalf. In this case, she just does it again. It's why I respect and love her so much. Made a very clear case. Hey, he's going to get out anyways in 3 years. Just let him get out. And it's just so interesting that he says, "Ooh, it's one arrest we're happy he did because that's what we got him off the street." And to think that they're actually using DNA. Just sneeze, bless me. They're using DNA for these tackle cases. That's quite interesting too. I mean, I just don't understand. Is it something they just ask for now, drop it in the database, run it, see what comes up? But this is certainly an interesting case that you would have thought should have gotten some type of press coverage just for the idea that DNA caught someone who did something all those years ago. Worthy story, but nothing. Come on, pick it up. Pick it up. I'm talking to the journalist. I don't know, maybe they just wanna write it down. Not so excited about this boy. Oof, very like, maybe my newspaper boy now. My newspaper boy used to be gym-wise, miss-wise, and then throw in, I guess it could have been Pete Freeman or and, what's his name? But the physical therapist. Okay, I'll tell you what, 3:50 in the morning. I'm on my first cup of coffee, and yeah, I gotta fly out business trip. So that's what I do. I wake up early so I can make sure I get the stuff done. Thank you, Richard, for letting me know, highlighting this red as a case I should cover.